Talk about ECB, right? Slovenia. Interview of the PLO Cipolo 1, conducted by the Miajanko. Mr. Cipolo 1. The ECB is actively exploring the digital euro. The project was launched in July 2021. What is the argument in favor of introducing the digital currency? It's just must something that is necessary in the era was fast-paced digitalization of the many alternative payment systems. Cryptocurrency, including stablecoin, we definitely think it is must because it needs to solve the fundamental problems. Central banks don't fundamental things. They offer the means of the payment public, both of the retail, day-to-day transaction for the wholesale transaction bank. At the retail level, we provide cash and we continue to do so. With cash, you can pay through the euro area. Almost every shop paying which is cash is one of the fundamental freedom people have. However, cash cannot be used by the growing part of our day-to-day transactions. We all shop online, but do that we cannot use cash, and the European increasingly prefer to use digital rather than physical means of the payment. There's no equivalent cash with this transaction. We still don't have the European solution to pay the digital throughout the euro area, and all our needs occasion as the result. We depend on the non-European private payment service provider to platforms such as basically activities in our life. Using the digital euro has exactly the same function as cash. By the digital, we would allow the central bank to provide the meaning of the payment to the public, enable to them to pay loads of case where physical cash cannot be used. Essentially, we are preserving the people's freedom to pay with the public money. Cash would be made available in both physical and the digital, because digital euro would be the legal tender like a banknote, and coin would be accepted for any digital payment. What is current situation on the way with digital euro? How do you see the progress? And are you satisfied with the preparation so far? There are two dimensions. The first dimension relates to the technique preparations for the digital euro, which is responsibility of the ECB Euro. And the central bank progress of technique aspect. The project via the scheduled second dimension is legislative process, which is define the digital euro regulatory framework. And this side progress has also been made, and the legislation still need to be finalized. We hope this legislative process can be complete as soon as possible and can reflect choice of the legislators in the development of the digital euro. At the same time, understand the complex projects. Both the European Parliament and the Council of the EU, which is bring together and ministry from each country, need to fully understand and take ownership of this process. In short, while we hope things move fast, on the legislative side, we are making good progress on the technical side. Do you feel the political support from the European legislators? What is move among the politicians? As the summit March, European leaders clearly state accelerating the progress digital euro is key, notable support competitive and resilient European payment system. Contribute to Europe economic securities. Some details have yet to be agreed with upon. We're dealing with them, and we have the highest possible support. Heads of the state have told us we need to go ahead with this. For us, it is a very strong encouragement to continue. But what's about the people, European, eventually expect the digital euro will provide highest standard and quality, security, privacy, usability, payment system. How is that achievable in the near future? Is what we have been working on since the start of Digital Euro project in 2021. It's complex projects with have capable people, both ECB, National Central Bank. We have been identify the best technical solution to ensure greatest degree in simplicity, speed, security, privacy. The next example of privacy, the digital euro will provide highest level protection. First, people will have the possibilities to use the digital euro offline. Something so far, no digital payment solution offer in terms of privacy. This is will be as good as cash. Only the paper and the recipient. We know about the transaction, no one else. Second, when it comes to the privacy for the online use of digital euro, at the central bank will only see the code for the payer and the payee by the law. We will not be able to identify participants to the transactions. Let me give you another example. We are working on the technique side of provide the very best user experience. We are designing the system. So not ready for the innovation. Particularly, we are giving the bank and payment service provide possibilities leverage and the digital euro technique platform to develop a new service that are not yet available today. For instance, we are exploring the condition payment. Today's user can own link with payment, pay this person as the point to the time, pay this person to the point in time, but user could decide to make payment conditional, no other event. All this would improve people's life. Here is the illustrations. We are experimenting across the Europe conducting tests. The user startup, university bank, one of the proposed projects involved buy the tickets for the train or plane or quality. If you want to get reimbursement first in case of delay, you have to go through a lot of hassle. With the digital euro, it would be possible for the payment to be made only if, say, train arrival on time. The meaning that the payment is made only the service is provided in full. On the other hand, we know many Europeans still love the cash. They still love, they can feeling hold something in the hand. It's not like intangible kind of things we love touch. For example, it's May is this year. Slovenian Parliament even the initiate official proceeding introduced the right Slovenia was public Yugoslavia, but it's very tiny country, so it's more close like German, Introduce the right to cash into the constitutions with this message to the people who skeptical about using the form of digital money. Many answers simple. You will continue to be able to physical cash. The cash will always available, but will be able to use. And we are committed to providing cash to society and strongly support the legislative proposed by the European Commission to strengthen mandatory acceptance cash. Moreover, we are designing the digital euro to be the digital form of cash, simple, free, inclusive of protecting privacy and access throughout the euro area. In any case, We only provide additional options. We will not force everyone to use. We were guided by the one object to protecting people's freedom to decide how to pay. What is about very young people, the new generation, who frequently use mobile device? Will you prepare a solution for them? Oh yeah, we are testing and analysis user solution, organizing focus group, see the people preference. We are asking people about their priority and how they would use the digital euro. We want to make sure the product simple to use, that everyone can understand. This is key point. People don't wake up in the morning thinking, oh, I love to pay something they pay. They pay because they want to buy things. So payment need to be as simple, fast, and reliable as possible. Because digital euro will be the legal tender, you will have the solution. You can use the pay whatever digital payment accept in a simple way. By pressing your phone next to the payment device, and you don't have to worry about the shop will accept your card or mobile payment. So basically idea, the main instrument for exacting the digital euro payment will be the mobile phone and the device. We will also provide a physical card, including people who technologically are less savvy and do not have the mobile device. So we want to be as exclusive as possible. By the end of this year, ECB, European Central Bank, Government Council, will decide whether to move on to the next phase of the preparations. Will be the key consideration taken into the account to the crucial decision. We will access will stand in our technique preparations to the same time. We will look at the discussion and the political level. We will look at whether its circumstance and developing the favor of the issue the digital euro. It seems to me that there is important reasons to proceed with the projects. Political leaders have expressed strong support and even asked us to accelerate progress. We are also seeing a growing public interest. People are telling us they will use digital euro if it is available. People understand the importance of digital form of cash in case where it's not possible to use physical cash. Prefer to pay the digital. Who are the main stakeholders you communicate with? We are engaged with everyone: consumer, merchant, payment service, policymaker. We see sort of support. Example, the consumer have a very interested ask us ensure that the digital euro will be simple, free, basically used inclusive. Merchant also very supportive because having alternate international card payment would reduce the high fee pay the digital payment transaction. So they expect reducing the cost. They want to be sure digital euro will be easy integrate existing payment solution. It's doesn't like corrupt American bank. The transactions charge so much. It's like a robbery. No, I'm talking about my experience. Okay. We recent meeting in Frankfurt with a representative of European Merchants Associates. The man requires do it fast, do it simple, exactly. The bank and payment service, but the monopoly is like this is government supposed take care. It's not private, not a private also, Metaverse, not Nvidia. No, they are not qualified for this. Okay. Bank payment, only American politicians is couple, this headache. They are brandless. Okay. Bank and the payment service provider understand important strategies. Ultimately, want to reassure there won't be access deposit over for a bank account to the digital euro. In fact, this is not a big risk because digital euro is a intended payment rather than a store as value. The digital euro will not remember it with, so we do not expect people keep the high amount in their digital euro wallet. In any case, its holding limit. Furthermore, even the people do not have enough funds in their digital euro wallet, and they will be able to pay with the digital euro through the link, their bank account. So again, there will not be need to keep the high amount in digital wallet. And also a discussion bank how to ensure use the digital euro within their IT system in the cost effective and less burden some way, how they will be compensated for the cost incurred. The bank seems to be understand the importance of the projects. Currently, we are living in a very different world compared with 2 or 3 decades ago, when the euro project was designed and then launched into life European in form of coin, banknote, in January 2002. That was a big cash changeover in the history. And presumptively, we are heading to the euro digital changeover in near the future. When will we able to pay with the digital euro? Technically, we were ready to launch the next 2.5-3 years after legislation in the place. So a lot that depends on the adoption of the legislation. We cannot finalize digital euro development units if legislation is adopt. So we're talking about the 2028 or 2029. Yes, 2028 onward, it really depends on the legislative process. Just example to help people understand, we are still discussion whether people will be able to have one or several wallet. Typically, it means completely different design. A design degree complexity, we cannot finalize the technique specification until they know what is legislation required to us. That is why current timeline very much depends on the legislation. Yeah, exactly. You need to regulate first. It's not like they release technology without any regulate. So theater, peanuts, and lots of, they took so much money from the cream took so much money and get away. And they are free. And Trump pardoned them for that. You see? Crazy. You see the crazy. No justice. We should be the legislations adopt only the EU level. But yeah. You are independent now. You have your own money area. You don't involve anything, corrupt. Just at the European level, we need to consult with the Parliament and adopt their position, and sit down together and commissions agree with final text. The digital euro also be used the country and haven't adopted the euro yet. So no, the digital euro for the resident and euro for the people who travel to the euro area, and the country in the EU outside the euro area wants to allow the citizen use the digital euro. You need to have an agreement between the ECB and the central bank. For country outside the EU, agreement exactly. In the interview, expansion in March this year point out a growing sense urgency as the situation outside Europe and the source of pressures demand greater considerations. Risk we face the payment as a result our fragility and the extreme dependence of the foreign provider. What kind of risk do you prefer? We are currently in a situation where many of the 2/3 of card payment processed by non-European company. When you pay by card or banking sector payment service provider, pay them fee. In addition, mobile payment expanding their market share, and when they pay with the mobile device bank and losing the fee data, and another stable coin, which is mostly denominated in dollars, are coming, which could take deposit away from the bank. This would be the further step forward, deeper dependency of the Europe and the foreign provider. This dependency is concern for the central bank and the resilience payment system. It's one of the mandate and the central bank. You want to make sure European can pay the independent other regime of the world. So we have mean to lead a normal life if something happen outside Europe. Right now, we don't have a lot of certainty yet, so you need to regulate also. ECB, yeah. So we are facing many new geopolitical economic challenges. Many of them coming from the other side of the Atlantic or from the China, even in new context. How could the digital euro boost the EU competitiveness, enhance what strategies? Autonomy have just mentioned. What I wish to say is we should master our own destiny, regardless of what happened. We wish to fix the problem we have, own problem. We have the common currency for 25 years, and we wish to use online, depending on somebody else. This is constant situation. So we need to be fixed. Just to give the example. If we do digital euro, that means the Europe will have to unify infrastructures and common standard and payment. Payment service provider is very innovative. For example, Slovenia have Fig and Lay tell me this is very good solution. It's greater than small payment, so why cannot Fig expand outside Slovenia? It's good solution. People can use, but the difficult is standard. If we have different standard in different country, it is very difficult for small company to expand abroad. Even they are very innovative. It's like having interface different languages, but if you have one single standard, one language, comma, and it's much easy for you to sell your products. So what we should care about, creating an environment, a company that can complete grow and become big. In the article, you load the Economic Journal and the Baccaria. You point out the digital payments stand in the intersection information technology. When we discuss and compare ourselves, the United States in the long run, look at the sector and the compositions, productivity, we see that the distance between the United States and Europe mainly visible in those two sectors. It and finance both have one fundamental characteristic. Economic scale keep allowing you to increase your productivities. Our company cannot grow because they operate fragment market. Even you invent something in Slovenia. Those are two sectors is very difficult to expand your business abroad because of a market fragmentations, and you cannot reap the benefit of your increased activity. So we need to ensure our companies, this is two fields, can easily expand and take advantages of the EU single market. A study by the International Monetary Fund, which has been replicated several times, the non-tariff barrier that continue to hamper trade within EU and the equivalent tariff 44%. The goods, more than 100% of service. So it is important those two sectors expand as much as possible in Europe. To do so, we need to address the manning the barrier with single market for those two sectors, finance or IT. finance and IT activate their intersections, such as digital payment and economic scholars, essential to grow, thrive. What is experience of the country have already introduced of a digital currency could have eventually learned something from them. The most advanced digital project so far is a Chinese one, but this is completely different context turn of a rule. For example, it's different level of privacy for the digital wallet. So we focus addressing need to be the Euro area and the preferred European instance privacy. It's a very important system. It's very resilient and truly flawed. That's a great important citizen. The point that European consumer organizations have placed a particular emphasis. In fact, number of central banks outside Europe looking at the progress are making and the regions learn from our work. We are in Euro area and have particular sense of the urgency because fragmentations of our payment landscape along the national line. Inconsistency our monetary union and that is not allowed to reap the pool of benefits single market digital euro. How do you see the ECB latest interest rate? July 24. What is rationale behind? Could we expect more rate cut? The inflation at all is 2% target, and the economy has proved resilient. So challenges global environment still face considerable uncertainty. Notable rationale of the trade outlook. Against this background, we have decided to leave rates unchanged. The trade disruptions is harder to access recent data. So in the first quarter, economic growth more strongly than largest because the firm and the front-loaded export capital goods investment expect a tariff hike. In contrast, private consumption growth moderate in saving rate. So September later this year will have more information about the fee revised microeconomic projection and then line with data dependent meeting by meeting. Particular will be better positioned to assess trade situation look through the volatility generated by the front-loading effect. This will allow us better discern underlying momentum in economic implication. But now we see the conflict signal weak consumer confidence. The point, consumption growth, short term. Why continue short term? Why continue uncertainty? The unwinding the front-loading effect away of the business investment export. The sometimes labor market so far remain resilient as the labor demand weaken, income rising, wage growth gradually moderate over time, higher public investment. Defense infrastructures expects support economic activities. Overall, continue to see the risk of economic growth is titled to downside, but the overlook inflation more uncertainty unusual. So particularly we will need to see how price the euro area affect trade disruption, including their impact, supply chain, trade diversions, already resulting in higher euro area import from China. So the 10 rate hike between the September 2022 and the September 2023, the ECB has lowered borrowing cost 8 or 9 times since last June. Lesson has ECB learned from addressing inflation of the past 4 years? I can tell you the two key of the lesson. I take it from the reason exported. First, when sudden inflation shock occur, inflation dynamic may change because there is so-called non-narrated in the past, especially because the firm tend to change the price much faster than we change the price, much faster than we expect. So they take many small steps, but frequently acceleration is very important. We must take the non-linearity into account. So second, reason inflation spike as the confirmed to benefit keeping the inflation expectations under control. If you are able to anchor the inflation expectation to your target level, the system will also adjust this software, and this will be the implication of your monetary policy. The real economic will be less severe once you bring the inflation expectation back to your target, so you can bring back interest rate and lower level early once the inflationary shock unwind. Keeping inflation expectation close to the 2% inflation target is very important. It's one of the principles with stress built with update the monetary policy. So in this context, what are the main risk Europe area inflation outlook? Upside to the downside. Not right now. Why? Our latest forecast is June we will access this risk really balanced and title neither to the upside downside. See the additional appreciation of euro and the slightly increase the energy cost overall assessment. Therefore, stay the same. At the last time, also saw the higher trade tension. Some concerning the global economic outlook has been resilient overall, and seems to me the global food supply chain is so it's multiple times high, even in Taiwan. You see, you can feel finally what is lies ahead for the Europe, and all the benefit go to NVIDIA. The metaverse, Facebook, they have increased benefit. Don't make any sense. Okay, it's joke. Okay, and finally lies. Europe and context rising the geopolitical tensions, uncertainty, and fluctuations. Multilateral rule and Trump tariff increased defense of challenges of spending. Yeah, they're spending more. They increase the debt. They not reduce the debt. The problem is here, the Trump policy. Okay, so the money go to the lots of richest group and high tech. That's the reason. Okay, IMF know that. Everybody know that. Okay, our food price, everything increase every day, multiple times. Okay, because Trump. How to and oh my God, and lots of Gaza, lots of starvation, and of course, USAID have corruption, but you still need to work on lots of, what I mean, lots of economic act for lots of, not to launch the war, and those of lobby from the Israel. Crazy, they are crazy. The Nazi, how they trade them, and they trade the same with those of Palestinian. The same thing. Now, Israel become a Nazi. Okay, increase defense spending. How to address? That's a war is just increase spending, in military, and sacrifice people's life. All these issues challenge what is don't make any sense. Everybody is loose. We have one fundamental mission: price stable. Take all these factors into the account. Design a monetary policy. Make sure inflation. We need to make sure the money not go to the monopoly or antitrust. Microsoft. Microsoft increased loads of value, stock value, 4 trillion, okay? NVIDIA, Metaverse, okay? And then, oh my God, they control our software. Get rid of them. Get rid of those bullshit. uncertainty. Those are low ECB and within our mandate. You know, I work for free. You know, I don't. I have my own business. You know, but for lots of things, I work for free. Okay, I don't take any salary from any country. Okay, but because I cannot stand for lots of unreasonable, illogical, lots of those are benefit. Those are before they have antitrust law, but now no more. And those are riches become riches, and the people live in suffering. And poor people to pay out tax more than richest people. Poor people more suffering because they take our money. This is unfair. And they bribed all the Justice Department. Okay, even the Supreme Court is. We don't need a Supreme Court now. All right. They can go home. They can go home, retire, and we cannot pay their retire again. They should take another job because they are incompetent. They are unqualified in the Supreme Court. Even oh my God, I don't want to talk about more now. Give me a break, okay? Talk about ECB, right? Slovenia. Interview of the PLO, Cipolo 1, conducted by the, what is this? Miajanko, Mr. Cipolo 1. The ECB is actively exploring the digital euro. The project was launched in July 2021. What is the argument in favor of introducing digital currency? It's just must something that is necessary in the A levels. Fast-paced digitalization of the many alternative payment systems. Cryptocurrency, including stablecoin, we definitely think it must because it needs to solve the fundamental problems. Central banks don't fundamental things. They offer the mean of the payment public both of the retail day-to-day transaction for the wholesale transaction bank. At the retail level, we provide cash and we continue to do so. With cash, you can pay through the euro area. Almost every shop paying which is cash is one of the fundamental freedom people have. However, cash cannot be used by the growing part of our day-to-day transactions. We all shop online, but do that we cannot use cash. And the European increasingly prefer to use digital rather than physical means of the payment. There's no equivalent cash with this transaction. We still don't have the European solution to pay the digital throughout the euro area, and all our needs occasion as the result. We depend on the non-European private payment service provider to platforms such as basic activities in our life. Using the digital euro has exactly the same function as cash. By the digital, we would allow the central bank to provide the meaning of the payment to the public, enable to them to pay loads of case where physical cash cannot be used. Essentially, we are preserving the people's freedom to pay with the public money. Cash would be made available in both physical and the digital, because digital euro would be the legal tender like a banknote, and coin would be accepted for any digital payment. What is current situation on the way with digital euro? How do you see the progress? And are you satisfied with the preparations so far? There are two dimensions. The first dimension relates to the technique preparations for the digital euro, which is responsibility of the ECB Euro and other central bank progress of technical aspect. The project where the scheduled second dimension is legislative process, which is define the digital euro regulatory framework. And this side progress has also been made, and the legislation still need to be finalized. We hope this legislative process can be complete as soon as possible and can reflect choice of the legislators in the development of the digital euro. At the same time, understand the complex projects both the European Parliament and the Council of the EU, which is bring together a ministry from each country, need to fully understand and take ownership of this process. In short, why we hope things move fast. On the legislative side, we are making good progress on the technical side. Do you feel the political support from the European legislators? What is move among the politicians? As the summit March, European leaders clearly state accelerating the progress digital euro is key, notable support competitive and a resilient European payment system. Contribute to Europe economic securities. Some details have yet to be agreed with upon. We're dealing with them and we have the highest possible support. Heads of the state